In this video, I'm going to give a recap of my first week microdosing Iboga. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to share my biggest takeaway, which was totally unexpected, something I never would have seen coming. So I started microdosing Iboga 7 days ago, last Monday, and I've been doing 2 drops in the morning and 2 drops in the afternoon of a total alkaloid tincture. The the first day I didn't feel anything. I was kind of disappointed, and I was it was really subtle. Like maybe if I was like really quiet and meditated, I might feel something. But the way that this medicine works is that it stacks. And so, you take it day one, you might not feel it. Day two, it's starting to compound. And so as you go, day three, day four, day five, day six, it's building up in your system. It takes a couple of days for it to fully remove from your system. So there is a compounding effect. Now it's not linear. It's not like if you just take it every day, it's just going to keep growing and growing. But there's definitely like taking it on the seventh day is definitely way stronger than taking it on day one or two. So, day one didn't really feel anything. Day two, that's when I started to notice it, and it was very pleasant. It was slightly energizing. Not in like a physical energy kind of way, but in more of like a mental kind of alertness, and I wanted to get work done, and so I found myself having really nice productive stretches of working at the computer, and I would just I found myself like putting on headphones and listening to these techno DJ sets, and just like really just like plowing through work, just like in sort of like a rapid fire way, like really quick thinking, sending messages and organizing information and spreadsheets, and it's interesting. And one thing that was kind of funny is that I ended up listening to these these techno mixes every day. It was like I couldn't get enough of it. It was just like something about the BPM and the pace of it, and it's very like high energy dance music basically. And so I found it really useful for like just kind of zoning in on work. It's like, an hour or two would go by and I was just kind of in the zone. I was sort of forgetting. A lot of the time I was in a cafe, and so I would kind of forget about, what's going on around me. And so I noticed, along with that was a sort of alertness. It was like paying attention to details in at a high rate or something, and it was like things, alertness. Like I would notice things. I was noticing people a lot more. Like I would be kind of interested and curious about individuals, and I would notice little details about maybe what they're wearing or the way that they look, and have a sort of a little bit more like curiosity, interest in talking to them or something. And then I also noticed, so I was going to the sauna and the ice bath, which I go almost every day. I do a sauna and the ice bath, and I was noticing a heightened physical sensitivity where I was not able to stay in the sauna as long as normal, and then I was also The ice bath was more shocking. I was not able to stay in the ice bath as long as I normally do, which isn't so long. It's not like I'm not like one of these people that's like timing myself and pushing and breaking records or something. But I usually do about 30 seconds to a minute in the ice bath, and I found myself like and I can do that pretty casually. Whereas this was like I would get in and the urge to get the shock, the urge to get out was a lot more. And I find that when I'm fasting, this also happens where there's something in a fasted state. I notice that my sensitivity is heightened, and the ice bath is like a good way to gauge this. And so similar to fasting, there's like this heightened sensitivity, but it's like where like I can't handle the ice bath quite as well. Like if I really wanted to push, of course I could, but it was like my body wanted to get out of the ice sooner. I also kind of noticed this with like sounds, like they're loud noises or so, there's like a sensitivity to my environment. Loud noises are kind of triggering or something. So throughout the week, it was like it was again, this is pretty subtle. This is a microdose, so it's very subtle, but there's a definite shift in energy. Like it carries a vibration for sure. And so it would kind of ebb and flow. It was a little bit of a roller coaster. Like some days, it would be like maybe half the day, I would be in this energized state, and then it could shift really quickly. It would be like all of a sudden within 30 minutes there would be like a noticeable crash in energy or something, and then I would be like feeling bad. I would be like annoyed or grumpy or something, and there'd be some kind of like negative emotional shift. And so I noticed that was happening, where it was kind of like shifting vibrations pretty drastically. I'd be kind of in like a high energetic state, and then it would kind of drop suddenly. But a lot of it, and then there would be moments where, like I remember the other day, I was telling a friend that it was like, at the time, I'm messaging with him, and it's like, yeah, I don't really feel it. I might increase the dose a little bit tomorrow. And then after that conversation, I sat down to meditate, and it was like, whoa, it was like really, really buzzing. Like I could really feel the energy. It was like, it was almost like it was almost too much. And so it's funny like that, where in my sort of daily routine life, I'm not feeling it so strong, but when I sit down to meditate, it's like you can really feel it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. One of the things that has been nice, and I don't know if this is really related to the medicine, but just because I'm taking it, I'm paying a lot more attention to myself and my internal state, how I'm feeling, and I'm being more mindful. And so it's like I'm meditating more. It's like I'm being like more quiet, more contemplative, moving a little bit slower through the day. And sort it's like there's a feedback loop where like I'm paying attention to how I'm feeling more attentively, which is like increasing my mindfulness. So I don't know, I don't know if it is the medicine or something, but because I'm doing it, I'm being more mindful, and that feels really nice. Like that is like a really good result from it. Now, when I first set out to start microdosing, like the intention was I wanted to shift some energy. I wanted to, like I feel like there is this sort of stagnation that like I feel like I'm carrying this grief and sadness from I don't know what. I don't have any memory or trauma that I can relate it to. It's just like this thing that I've been carrying as long as I can remember. It kind of feels like one of these things that's like, ancestral or like passed down from my parents. It's like I sort of inherited some kind of emotional baggage, and it feels like this unprocessed grief and sadness that, I've been carrying it for as long as I can remember. And lately, in the past, 6 months or so, it's like it wants to come out. It's this kind of background. It's sort of always there in the background, just painting a little shade of gray on top of everything. It's like you could have all the colors of the rainbow, and then it's like this thing is just like, and we're just gonna cover it with like a 20% gray, make it with a little bit opacity, and so it's just kind of like muting things just a little bit, and but it feels like it's been wanting to come out, but just can't quite do it. It's like it just it's right on the surface, but it just doesn't really want to like move through. Apparently I'm not ready to let it go. And so I wanted, so my intention with this was to see if this could help get that moving. And so when I started it, I had completely made space for like I was completely preparing myself to be like really emotional, to have like all these crazy emotions come up, be crying and angry and grieving, and I was like, man, okay, I'm gonna start microdosing, and I'm gonna like really sort of clear that and make space to just allow whatever comes through to come through, and see if we can like process this, get this moving. And so I I don't want to say that I was disappointed, but it was like when I started doing it, and it was like kind of like high energy, and it's like, oh wow, like I actually feel really good, and I'm productive, and I'm motivated to work, and there's like it's like there's like a little bit more meaning in the work, and like a positive outlook. It's like it's been like this feeling of sort of worry and concern and doubt has been subtly dropped by the wayside. So it's like it's sort of allowing myself to like just let this stuff kind of get out of the way, and then move forward with taking the actions that I'm doing, and with a sense of like positivity, that like optimism, that what I'm doing, and the things that I'm building, and the directions that I'm going, and it like there is value, there is meaning to it, that it's productive, and that the outcome will be positive, which is great, which is a wonderful augmentation to my experience. Like I'm not, I'm like super grateful for that. But I was also, but that's not really what I was really getting. That wasn't my intention going into it. I'm not looking for a supplement to give me high energy and be productive, and feel good. I'm not looking for something to make me feel good. I'm looking for something to help me process these old emotions in order to feel better in the long run. It's like helping me to drop this story so that I can sort of clear the path moving forward, and then not need, because like this isn't about supplements. This isn't about this whole story, this whole intention. This isn't about trying to feel good. It's like it's about I want to feel the grief and the sadness, but I want to do it in a way that, like, I want to feel it so that I can sort of move on from it too. So it's like the whole intention is to like widen my spectrum of human experience, human emotions. So it's all just to say that I was a little bit disappointed at first, because it was like, oh man, like this is great, like, yeah, cool, like I have energy and I'm productive and like I'm optimistic, like that's great, and it is. But I was also like, man, like where's the emotional roller coaster? Where's the processing? When is my process gonna start? And so I was like, oh, I'm not feeling bad. Like, why am I not grieving? Like, fuck, I'm trying to find what do I need to do to be sad, to grieve, And so, but then yesterday, I feel like that changed. That I got hit by a freight train yesterday, where the first 6 days were sort of feeling good, high energy, productive. Yesterday, the seventh day, was like pretty rough. It was a really challenging day. I woke up not feeling good to begin with, and didn't sleep very well. And I honestly, like, I had done a pretty big dose of rape the night before, right before bed, like around midnight. I did a massive dose of rape, which for me does not go well with sleep. I find that rape really messes up my REM sleep. I'm not able to reach that deep sleep that's like regenerating, and so. And it's like a stupid thing that it's a habit that I do, that more often than I would like, is, it's like I wind. It's a good way for grounding at night, settling down from the day, meditating, do some rape. But I do it too late, and then it messes up my sleep, and then there's a really big chance that I'm going to wake up in the morning feeling really terrible. Now, while there are like sort of scientific and sort of physical explanations for this, I also have been feeling like, in a sense, this is what the rape medicine is showing me at the same time. It's like, in a way, it's like, I feel like it's kind of telling me that this is something that I should feel. And this is related. This is related to this, this ancestral grief thing, this sadness that kind of won't move through. But I've and this is just my intuition, but it's like there's some kind of a connection here where the rape makes me feel this, and it can be unpleasant. Like, some days I don't want to. Some days it's like I have a lot to do. I got to get up and be productive, and I want to feel good. And so it's this, like, I don't prefer to experience that, but I do intuitively, I feel like this is kind of, in some way, this is like what the rape medicine is wanting to show me. So doing that the night before, I woke up feeling that energy, that vibration, like feeling this heaviness and this sort of this kind of, I don't know, sorrow, this sadness. And I decided to take double the amount of Iboga. So I did 4 drops in the morning, and then I did another 2 later in the afternoon. So I went pretty heavy on the Iboga, and that was intentional. It was like, okay, like whatever, whatever it is, let's face it, let's bring it up. And then so I guess it's just part of it is like I wasn't feeling good when I woke up, and I feel like part of what the Iboga is doing is like amplifying whatever state I'm in. So if I wake up feeling really good, it seems like it kind of amplifies however I'm feeling. So woke up feeling pretty bad, and so it amplified that, and I went double the dose. And then I went to ecstatic dance, which I did not particularly want to go, but I go every week. I don't think I've missed an ecstatic dance in almost a year. Every Sunday, it's like church. So it was like no, I'm still gonna go. Like it was like even in the state that I'm in, which is like the opposite. It's like this really heavy vibration. I was like, no, I'm still gonna go to ecstatic dance and just see what happens. Just observe, and what maybe it shifts the energy, or maybe it doesn't. But let's just go and observe. And I can always leave whenever I want. And at ecstatic dance, it was really difficult. It was a really challenging time. I noticed a lot of self-esteem issues coming up, like self-image stuff, like and like just feeling like this kind of like feeling inferior in different ways. How I looked, like feeling like I don't look good. Like the way that I'm dancing doesn't look good, and like it was like seeing everybody else looking amazing, wearing really cool outfits, dancing amazing, and really shining. And it's like, and this isn't normal for me. Like this is, of course, like ecstatic dance is a place where insecurities come up, and that's part of the whole point, and of course yes, it does happen still. I've been going to ecstatic dance for like 12 years now, and so I'm pretty used to it. It's like I thought I had moved past a lot of these insecurities, but it was like the volume was really loud on this stuff. It was like, and I noticed the thought patterns that I was having were really like hypercritical of other people, and it was like these little triggers. It was like everybody I saw was like triggering some kind of reaction of like criticism, like finding looking for like some detail in their thing, and like internally criticizing it. And it's like it wasn't normal. It was a really, like, it was really amplified, and it was as if it just felt like these thoughts and this criticism was not mine. It was like it was coming from outside or something. It was like, because like this, it's super, it's very subtle. Like you have to really be listening, paying attention, and because it's like these thoughts that happen in a split second, almost before I have a conscious thought. It's like these are like pre-verbal thoughts where of criticism, and it felt like it was coming from something else, somewhere else, but this is what I was noticing, and it was like I felt very separate I felt very removed from the entire experience, from the party, and didn't want to be there. I felt really uncomfortable. It was like friends were coming up to me and talking to me, and they were like really excited to see me. Everybody's like really happy, and I was having like this whole like internal experience of like rage and sadness and anger, and just, you know, it was like something wasn't right, and I had no idea what it was. It's like, I don't know what's wrong, but my physical organism is like, agitated. It's like it like something's wrong, but there's like nowhere, there's like nothing I can do about it, and there's nowhere to go. And so it was hard. But it was like, this is what I observed. This is what was coming up. And I again, that like I'm this is my first time microdosing Iboga. I'm not an expert at all. But I've been doing some research and talking to people, and it sounds like a lot of what this medicine is about is kind of showing you your shadow. It's like it's showing you these blind spots that maybe you avoid or you suppress, and it's, from what I understand, it has this way of kind of showing you yourself in a, it's reflecting yourself in a way that apparently is healing. People come out of the flood doses, with these incredible healing experiences, and their accounts are something along these lines, that like they were presented with, they saw themselves from a certain perspective that was that affected them so strongly that they, never did heroin again or something. And so it feels a little bit like that. It feels like it has the quality of like that I'm being mirrored in the world around me, and it's kind of showing me these shadow elements of myself, that, this like judgment and criticism and insecurity about myself, comparison to others. I don't know. But yeah, it feels like I'm just being shown myself in this environment. So that was hard. That was challenging. It wasn't fun, and I ended up, I came home, and then I ended up so a little while later, it was really it was just like this wave of like, what the fuck is happening? Like I don't know what to do right now. Like it's like something's wrong, and I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. It was just like this emotion moving through me, and it's like I don't even know what the emotion was. It was just this kind of energy, and it was like, what is going on? And it's like I tried, I went out, to grab some lunch, and it was just this feeling of like, I am not in any condition to be outside socializing right now. Like, it was like it was anger. I was mad. I was a lot of anger and frustration, and it was like this criticism, this quality, like whatever emotion is behind criticism, that was really loud. And so it was like everywhere I was looking was just this like wanting to like tear things down. And so I think that's what it was. It was anger. And and of course, like I can control myself. I'm not going to go on a rage attack or something. Like I'm not unhinged. But internally, my inner experience was like, I I didn't want to be seen that way. I didn't want to run into friends. Like I ran into some good friends of mine, and I sat down with them for a second to talk, and it was like God, I don't want to be here talking right now because I'm in this like dark, low vibration state, and I don't want to inflict that on them. Like I don't want to be seen that way. I don't want to be toxic to other people. And so it was like this feeling that I should go be by myself, that I should hide. I think that's pretty normal. I think when people are, when I go through dark, heavy emotional periods, that's my natural inclination. And so I ended up coming home, and I meditated and sat with it, and it was pretty intense. It was just like it was like this what's going on right now, and like a lot of the physical sensations, like feeling the emotion in my chest was really strong. And then I laid down and I turned on some Bwiti music, which is like it's the native African music of where the Iboga tree comes from, where the medicine, the source of the medicine, the African tribes, it's their like, they it's their music. It's like this drumming and harp and singing, and it's not like I've been starting to listen to it a little bit. Initially I didn't like it. Initially, like I wouldn't say that it's like really pleasant music to listen to. I find it it's kind of jarring and abrasive. But I was like, just to, as an experience, I was like, okay, let's just lay down and like listen to this, for an hour. And so I laid down, shut my eyes, and I have this playlist of Bwiti music, and just allowed myself to relax and get into that. And maybe like 10 or 15 minutes in, I found myself in this kind of, this dreamy sort of trance state, and like the music started to sound pleasant, and like once I allowed myself to relax into that. And so I didn't fall asleep, but I was sort of in that like in between state, semi dreaming, and listening to this music. And it's this kind of fast paced drumming with like a harp, kind of like somebody plucking strings, and they're singing, something that you would expect out of an African tribe. And I didn't have much of like a dream journey. I didn't have much like visuals or thoughts, but I found there is this energetic thing that was happening physically, where I would be laying there, and it was like being jolted with energy, or like it was like high voltage shocks. And it would like I could feel the energy moving through me, and it would rise and then drop, and then there'd be moments in the music where just like out of nowhere my body would just kind of like jolt. So that was fascinating. And when I was done, I think I did it for like an hour and a half, and opened my eyes, and I felt a lot better. It was like I wasn't completely in the clear, but like the intensity of the heavy emotional stuff that I was moving through had noticeably dropped. And I was like thinking about like what it was like. I was like kind of excited about what to do next. I was going to go to the dome which is the steam room dome-shaped sauna that I go and I do throat singing, chanting in. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the dome, and I was excited about that, which, which was like before I was like not excited about anything. I was like, I can't go out. I don't know what to do. I shouldn't be outside. I'm not, it was dark. So there was something about it that like it did shift the energy, which I thought was interesting. Just laying there listening to the music for a while was actually really helpful in kind of moving that stuff through, versus like punching a pillow or screaming or doing yoga. I mean, I'm sure like yoga, like breath work or like a physical activity would shift the energy too. But I was surprised that just laying there listening to this music, like it actually, like there was a pretty wild energy shock thing that was happening every once in a while, like these pulses of energy, and then feeling like it had moved something, like afterwards feeling better. So after that, I went to the dome, and it's this amazing dome-shaped sauna. The reverb, the acoustics inside are incredible. I post a lot of videos of the dome, chanting at the dome on my Instagram. Maybe I'm hoping to make a video that I'll share on the YouTube channel soon. But I go there and I throat sing and I chant and do overtone harmonizing, and I find that that's a good way to sort of help process emotions too. It's like I'm not the kind of, like, I've never really been one to like process anger and rage by punching pillows and screaming. Maybe I should. It's just not something that I've been into, but I do find that chanting is one of my preferred ways of letting this energy move through me. And I find that I've heard that in Buddhism they actually say not to express with rage and anger and punching pillows, but with chanting and mantras and oming, because and I this is what I experienced. Like I feel like it's your this energy is moving through you. This high intensity anger, rage, emotion, and you're transmuting it. It's coming through you and then coming out, and you're transmuting it using your voice and turning it into a different vibration, and turning it into something beautiful. And so it's like you just open your mouth and and as you're doing that exercise, and it's like you're just letting the energy move through. You're a channel, you're a conduit for that energy to transmute itself into vibration into the world. And then even physically, like energetically, physically, that vibration, those sound frequencies and waves are being emitted into the environment, which is then absorbed by the environment. So it's like you're in the simulation, the energy's coming through you, and it's like it's not preferred. You don't want it, you don't like this rage, and so you're allowing it to come through. And your voice, your throat chakra, is the mechanism for transmuting that into a positive vibration that's then emitted out into the world, and then the environment, the simulation around you, absorbs that, and you are the simulation, and so that vibration is then transmuted back to you like a toroid field, like that shape where it's like a kind of like a donut, and it's like a feedback loop. The energy comes through you, you emit it out, it's absorbed into the environment, and then the environment is feeding that back into you. And I think this is a really powerful way to transmute energy, whatever it is, whether it's rage and anger or joy and pleasure. All of it, is can be expressed this way. And like this is one of like the most powerful technologies we have in our reality, in the simulation. It's like this is a really strong, this is a powerful tool for manifesting and affecting everything around you, your environment, and yourself. It feeds back into you, and everything, because everything is connected. And time is an illusion. It's like there is no time and space. It's like because everything is connected, I really do believe that this technology has the ability to affect across space and time. Like it's not limited to the things that are within earshot. It's like you can transform things across the planet. Your vibrations can affect things in outer space, in other dimensions. It's like prayer. It's like that, the thought energy, the intention, the emotional energy is all transmuted that way, and it's a means of multi-dimensional communication across time and space. That's your voice. You have it. So anyways, so this, if you've made it this far in the video, this is actually the biggest takeaway that I've had since I started microdosing. Is there has been an undeniable increased sensitivity to synchronicities. And what I mean is that, I've been noticing more synchronicities, but it's like in a way it has this quality that like it's like everything that's happening has a deeper meaning to it. There's more meaning, there's more depth to the events that are happening daily. And so I know that like every like our world is made of synchronicities, right? Like I know this, but I think the difference is that there's an increase in my attention on this. It's like I'm noticing these synchronicities more, and it might like I think it's related to like the higher alertness. It's like because I'm a little bit more alert and paying attention, that so I'm noticing things, and so this is what it's all about, is like my attention is being directed to things in a way where the things that are happening are taking on more meaning. There's more depth to the story of what's unfolding. This is particularly strong with the people that I'm running into by chance. So it's like I've been meeting people, I've been running into friends, I've been having these chance encounters, coincidences where it's as if the people are carrying a message for me, which again, I mean, this is true throughout. Like like everybody you meet is giving you some information. Everyone you meet is a reflection, and so, but it's like, I think in my daily life, it's easy to forget. It's easy to not pay attention to that. Whereas this has been causing me to notice this more. And so it's like I've been running into people that like some of them I don't want to run into. I don't want to see them. It triggers something in me. There's a reaction, but I feel like it's showing me something. There's a clear sense that like that I'm seeing this person now in this moment, and the timing is perfect, and it's not by accident. And whatever reaction I'm having, my desire to run, my desire to avoid, or like the thoughts that are coming up, like yesterday, it was like these like critical thoughts. I've been running into some people that I want to see, that I'm pleasantly surprised to see, or meeting people. But there's this, it's like they've been carrying messages. It's like the things that they say to me are, it's like divinely guided, is all I can say. It's like we're all channeling all the time, and it's like it's like all of these people that I'm interacting with, it's like we all have messages for each other in this sort of divinely orchestrated mess. And again, it's like this is how it is. Like I know that, but there's something about the microdosing that has amplified it. It seems to be happening more intensely, and I don't know if it's because I'm paying attention to it more, but somewhere along the line I started paying attention. It's like I don't know why I'm paying attention to it more. Something has caused me to notice these things, and as I'm noticing them, it's like it's happening more and more, and it's like it's this sort of there's a sense of going with the flow. It's like things are unfolding, but it's a sort of letting go of like that everything is being divinely guided. It's like people are connecting me with other people. It's like, we'll have a conversation, even particularly with Iboga. It's like when I mention this to people, with friends, a lot of the times it's like, oh, I know this, I'll connect you with this person. They have some relation to this. Like you guys really need to meet. And it's like, and so it's like, I feel like it's, and it's not just related to Iboga. It's like other things that are happening where it's like, I feel like these portals and connections to other people are opening, that I feel like are furthering the journey. It's like people that need to be connected on the path. They have something to share. They have some information for each other. And it feels like this is happening more intensely, or I don't know, intensely isn't really the right word, but it's happening a lot. The synchronicities are happening a lot, and I'm noticing it more, and it's definitely been an increase since I started microdosing. In the last week, there's been a noticeable increase in the synchronicities. So think I'll leave it at that for now. This is day 7 of microdosing. I was thinking about so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going through today, Monday, and then tomorrow I'm gonna take a break. So I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'm gonna take a break. Maybe, I'll see. Maybe go a little longer. It's good to cycle it. It's good to take breaks. I'm told that oftentimes I'm told that the learnings, the benefits, the information, the data continues even when you're not taking it. So even when you cycle off, there's still a lot of information to be learned in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes, taking a break. There is a quality to it physically that it's like I do feel this. I kind of want to take a break. There is a feeling of maybe slight exhaustion. It's like, oh, like I'm ready to like okay, let's relax, because I think maybe. There's like a concentration of energy. It's definitely been a lot. It's a lot's happened this week, and I think my body's ready to kind of give it a rest. Let's take a few days break. So I'm looking forward to that. I was considering upping the dose a little bit while on it. But I don't think I'm going to. I was thinking about it, and I've played with it a little bit. Like yesterday I did 4 and then 2. And I think after yesterday, it's like, okay, I don't need to do that. It was interesting, and like it's useful, but it's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot to handle. So I think. But it's good. I feel like I've found that sort of upper threshold, and I like to find the boundaries, find the edges, and then now I can sort of pull it back, and I think I'll go back to 2 and 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions.